here again. This is my latest Benelli build. I'll show you what I worked on kind of late winter. It is another Benelli 135 with a KTM 510 motor in it. Fuel injected, 6-speed, electric start. I went with the naked look. I didn't want to use any of the stock plastic. Not that it looks bad with stock plastic, but I like the naked look. To get this motor to fit in there, we had to modify the swing arm. We had to cut out the center section, reinforce it. Not the prettiest of work, but it's held up pretty good so far. Gets the job done. Radiator is supposedly for a Honda, I think CB500. I'm guessing that's a twin cylinder. It fits in there nice. Motor runs real cool. Barely gets above 150 most of the time. I had to make up I bought a catch can. It was real long, so I had to slice it and braze it back together. That works out real good. Trying to think what else. Oh, custom fuel tank. Because that's the main thing with these Benelli builds is the fuel tank issues. So being I wasn't using stock body work, I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to build my own tank. So that's all steel tank. It's just clear coated here and then some paint in the middle. I went ahead and built the whole tank, tacked it together, and then I gave it to a local guy at Fabworks, Keith, and he went ahead and welded it up, did a good job, had no problems with it. Holds 3 gallons too. I wanted a good capacity with the 510 because that's going to eat some fuel up. Did a custom solar seat tail section, custom twin mufflers. I just did the twin mufflers just for looks. I just thought it looked pretty cool. When I got done with the tail section, I didn't plan it this way, but I grabbed the stock Benelli tail light stop light, and that actually fits in there right nice, same angle as the tail section. I got little LED blinkers that came with the Benelli. They were on the front of the Benelli. I put them on the back. We've had some, I did a custom rear sets, 3/8 thick aluminum plate. Custom mounted a crankcase breather there. Trying to think what else. I did have a shifting problem with this motor when I got it on the road, a high RPM. Anything over say 6,000, it didn't want to shift. So I went ahead and replaced the spring on the claw that grabs the shift drum in there. Put a stiffer spring, and that seems to have solved that problem. Added a water temperature gauge, just a cheap eBay, what's it called, Norix, N-O-R-X-I, I don't know how to pronounce that. Stock Benelli gauges. Can't use a tack. I was hoping to get the tack working, but the KTM doesn't come with a tacks, and the Benelli gets its tack signal from the computer, not from the ignition coil. So I just covered it up so I don't see it. But I still have my speed, trip meter, blinkers, high beam, low beam, all that good stuff. Trying to think what else we got here. We added a little bar end mirrors. I don't like mirrors that stick way up. So the front headlight assembly, some people hate it, some people like it. I don't know, it's just a goofy little thing. I wanted a twin headlight setup. I think it looks pretty good from the front. From the side, it looks a little goofy, kind of hangs down like a bird's beak. It is what it is. If you don't like it, oh well. The only other upgrade I want to do is I want to upgrade the front brake caliber, go to a bigger caliber, which it desperately needs. And I'm going to swap out the stock tires. Right now we're still in kind of testing mode, so we're just running the stock tires right now. The exhaust I made up myself. Of course, all the bracketry in here. I had to relocate the coil because the stock coil mount ended up breaking loose. Stock Benelli coil mount, so I just relocated the coil in there with a steel bracket. All the steel brackets I just clear coated. I thought it looked good. The exhaust, believe it or not, you can tell by looking, it's just 90-degree exhaust pipe from your local auto parts store. I got one there, 2, 3 with an extension, and then 4, and then I did a Y setup coming out the back. Let's see what else we got going on. I had a custom made aluminum rear sprocket made up, and it didn't last very long. KTM 60 horsepower motor ate that sprocket up. So I just found a steel sprocket that center hole fits, but the bolt hole pattern was all wrong, so I had to drill new bolt hole patterns. And so far so good. We'll see how long that lasts, because this motor puts out a tremendous amount of torque. I did have to replace the countershaft seal. I did the seal kit from Takamoto, got that all in there. That's been good. I got to work on my shifter linkage. I had it tightened up with some shims. Now it's got a little play in it, sideways play, so we got to go back in there and tighten that up a little bit. This is just the stock shift lever off the KTM. Originally this motor came out of a 2016 KTM 500 EXC. It's actually a 510, but that's the stock shifter. I just cut the end off of it, drilled, tapped it, bolted it in there, thread locked it, and it's been pretty good. The hose kit, kind of a tricky thing here, and I just got it dirty. Tricky thing here is, I think this is from Husqvarna for some year 2-stroke, but it had the right bends, and it works fine. I just, it's hard to see, but it has 2 outlets. I blocked the other one, because you don't need 2 for this setup. So, I thought the red looked pretty cool. We got our fuel filter right there. Made up a mount here just to support the whole throttle body from vibration. Try to think what else. We've shortened the kickstand, all this crap that comes off the kickstand. Get rid of all that. Cut your kickstand stop so your kickstand goes up higher, because if you leave it stock, you will hit that going through corners, and you don't want something stupid as a kickstand to put you on the ground. But this is my latest KTM build, KTM 510, and you can tell me what you think. It is a vibrating motor. It vibrates a lot, but this thing goes, it's ridiculously fast. It's really probably a little too fast for this motor, for this bike, but it's a lot of fun. And I think that's really about it. Took a lot of fabrication, obviously, with the tank and the tail, all the motor mounts. I had to redo, it's hard to see, but I had to redo this motor mount, cut the center tube out, do a custom mount down to there. I did not use the lower mount that comes stock on the KTM, so I had the swing arm mount, the head mount, and then we got the front mount going down there. So far it's been fine. And that's about it. Of course, everything here had to be custom made up. These are actually stock Benelli pegs. I was able to relocate them back and remount everything. Rear brake, I never use it. As you know, if you watch my videos, I never use rear brake. Yeah, still working some bugs out of it, but I think I got it nailed pretty good. Stock hydraulic clutch, which it's nice, but it has a long engagement period. I wish it was a shorter engagement period where it's actually quite long. Even with it pulled all the way in, sometimes you tend to stall it at a stoplight, and you can't let it out anymore or it'll be too tight. But there we go. It's a 2021 Benelli TNT 135 with a KTM 510. Alright guys, catch you later. See ya.